नमस्ते, आप सभी का स्वागत है टू फिटनेस प्रोजेक्ट 2021, द 12-week फिटनेस प्रोजेक्ट जो कि हम लोग 2018 से कर रहे हैं एंड वी हैव बीन रिसीविंग एक्सीलेंट रिस्पॉन्स ईयर आफ्टर ईयर टू दिस फिटनेस प्रोजेक्ट. So this time we have more than 70,000 people who have signed up from across the globe, and this time the focus is going to be on the kitchen. और इसी के लिए मैं किचन के अंदर खड़ी हूँ. वैसे जब लॉकडाउन या पैंडेमिक हुआ is when I actually started entering the kitchen and I discovered so many secrets of the kitchen. So जो रह के उसी को सीक्रेट कहते हैं. So in the next 3 months what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend time on every Tuesday at 4 p.m. with each one of you and tell you what are those tips, tricks and recipes of your kitchen that you should be using so that you have better health, better immunity, and yes, of course, better weight loss too. So thank you for all those of you who have joined us. More than 90,000 of you are more than 90% of you are joining us for the very first time in this fitness project. What you need to do is follow the tips that you receive week after week in a cumulative manner. So you will learn one tip today. You follow that for the rest of the week. The next time in week 2, the tip that you learn, you follow that along with the first tip. By the time it's week 7, you will have 7 guidelines. You'll be following 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guidelines by that time, and so on until the next 12 weeks. So alright, we all do know and we've discovered this more than ever during this year that health is truly our wealth. Look at the extent to which all of us have gone to keep ourselves and our loved ones healthy. तो हेल्थ इज द ट्रू वेल्थ ये हम कहते ही आ रहे हैं, लेकिन हेल्थ जो है ये घर पर ही बनती है. घर में भी, घर के किचन में हमारी हेल्थ बनती है. तो आज की गाइडलाइन के लिए क्या आप तैयार हैं? क्योंकि मैं पूरी तरीके से तैयार हूं. मैं तो किचन में भी खड़ी हूं क्योंकि ये गाइडलाइन, ये पूरा फिटनेस प्रोजेक्ट ही किचन के ऊपर बेस्ड है. So, आपने देखा होगा that ये पैंडेमिक के दौरान a whole lot of people have been low on energy, they have been lethargic, they have not been sleeping well. A lot of people are even saying that in the last 8 months they seem like they have aged by 8 or 10 years. अगर 2019 का फोटो देखो और आज का देखो तो ऐसा लगता है कि बीच में 10 साल गुजर गए हैं. What has led to all of these changes? We have also learned the importance of oxygen more than ever this year, and we do know what happens when the levels of oxygen in the body begin to drop. Well, the pandemic aside, what I have also been seeing in my work, or in my practice is that छोटे बच्चे 8 या 9 साल के भी are having grays in their hair. I've been seeing an increasing number of people with infertility issues, with PCOS and thyroid issues over the last 10 years. We also have more people with IBS or needing IVF more than ever. और अब जानते हैं कि ये सब चीजों के पीछे what's the one common factor which is there across all of these conditions? Well, that common factor is micronutrient deficiencies or micronutrient insufficiencies. More importantly, the insufficiency of hemoglobin. So today's guideline is about using a secret in your kitchen to push up your iron or your hemoglobin levels naturally. The guideline is bring back the kadhai, bring back the iron tava, and bring back the iron karchi. I'm going to tell you how and I'm going to tell you why, but before that I want to tell you what all can hemoglobin do for you. First of all, hemoglobin ही वो चीज है जो कि ऑक्सीजन के साथ बाइंड करके आपके बॉडी में, आपके ब्रेन में ऑक्सीजन पहुंचाती है. जो मॉलिक्यूल ये बनाती है ऑक्सीजन के साथ, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज ऑक्सी-हीमोग्लोबिन. तो हीमोग्लोबिन और ऑक्सीजन जुड़ के आपके पूरे शरीर में और ब्रेन में ऑक्सीजन पहुंचाते हैं. If you feel that you've been exercising but not really getting the results that you deserve out of the efforts, it is you could be simply low on hemoglobin and therefore not having adequate oxygen reaching your muscle tissue, reaching your fat cell while you're exercising. If you've been feeling low It could simply be low levels of hemoglobin too, because low levels of hemoglobin are also associated and also seen with mental health issues. तो hemoglobin के बहुत सारे functions है, but you do see low hemoglobin levels with PCOD, with diabetes, with unexplained fertility, and you also have low levels of hemoglobin anytime that you're going through IVF or chemo or IBS. So all of us need hemoglobin. If you're growing up, you need hemoglobin. If you're spending a lot of time on screen, you need hemoglobin. If you are wanting to prevent aging, if you want to prevent hair loss, you need hemoglobin. You need hemoglobin for more than one reason. Now, how do you do it? Well, start cooking your sabzis in iron kadhai. Okay, now what that does is that it also encourages you to start making your rotis on an iron tava. And what that also does is that it starts teaching you to use this, in Marathi we call it ulatna, I don't know what the name for it is when you're making your halwas and burfis and laddus of this season. So iron vessels use करके क्या होता है कि थोड़े थोड़े level में iron begins to add itself to the food that you're eating. Now when you have this food and when you have this micronutrient as a part of a full meal, that's your best chance of digesting and assimilating it properly. Otherwise, आप सब ये जानते ही हो that a lot of people just need hemoglobin injection or iron injections, and some people need iron pills, and the minute you are on pills, you have either diarrhea or you have constipation. So how do you ensure that you are having adequate levels of iron without really needing any pills or injection? Get back to using this secret. ये सारी चीजें हर किसी के किचन में अवेलेबल है. अगर आपके किचन में ये अवेलेबल नहीं है तो ये आपके नजदीक के बाजार में या इवन ऑनलाइन अवेलेबल है. जब आप ये रेगुलरली यूज करते हो तो ये सब बनाने के लिए जो कारीगर है उनको भी रोजगार मिलता है, and we do know that health is associated with our local economy. So use these. Another important tip that I have for you is also have multiple sizes of kadhai. Now the reason why you should have multiple sizes of kadhai is because when you're cooking very little, you don't want to cook in a very large kadhai, because then वो पूरा कढ़ाई heat होने के लिए ज़्यादा गर्म होने के लिए ज़्यादा heat लगता है, and most of the micronutrients are not stable at high temperatures. So if you want to get the most nutrients out of the food that you're eating, then you need to first figure how much are you cooking, and then accordingly either use this or even this. मैं जब खुद के लिए भजिया वगैरह बनाती हूँ अकेले के लिए तो this is the कटोरी that this is the कढ़ाई that I'm using. और जब मैं entertain करने के लिए अपने 15-20 दोस्तों को बुलाती हूँ तो that's when I use this. When I have small family gatherings of about 5 or 6 people, this is what I use. So depending on what you're cooking, choose the size to retain the nutrients. Remember, the guideline may seem very small. It may even seem very simple, but that's the thing about fitness, that it is not complicated. It is rather simple, and all that it requires is small daily steps. Fitness is built by taking small steps in the right direction. ये cumulatively build होता है. This isn't something which is built by doing something very extreme for a very short time. That's how you lose your health. To build your health, which is priceless and invaluable, you need small, simple steps. Steps which you can do, steps which your grandmother used to do, steps which you would be comfortable even if your grandchildren adopted. So here's to cooking sabzis in the kadhai. Here's to cooking rotis and dosas on the tava. And here's to making halwa and barfi in this. You must have also seen this, and I have sometimes seen this in gurudwaras where वो लोग जब दाल बनाते हैं वो अगर वो जिस भी वेसल में बनाते हैं उसके बाद में वो लोग उसमें एक आयरन करछी डाल देते हैं ताकि आयरन वो दाल में भी ट्रांसफर हो. सो ये जो विजडम है इसे अपनाइए, ये फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट है और इससे आप तंदुरुस्त रह सकते हो. एंड दिस रियली इज द रीजन दैट iron vessels in our kitchen was the original reason for our slim waist, flawless skin and lustrous hair. So if you want that, you don't need to go anywhere online or buy anything. You just need to enter your kitchen and use your iron stuff. So that's the guideline for today. Thank you very much for watching. We are going to be giving out the next guideline on Tuesday, 12th of Jan at 4 p.m. I'm going to see you there, but before that I'm going to answer a few questions.
Okay, so the first question is, what kind of sabzis can be cooked in the iron kadhai?
Oh, all kinds of sabzis, except the sabzis which require any kind of khatas. तो अगर आपके सब्जी में टमाटर या इमली या कोकम अगर कोई खटास आ रही है तो then you don't need to use it in the iron kadai. Every other सब्जी जिसमें आप अदरक या other garam masale या लहसुन या कड़ी पत्ता मिर्ची, all of those things you can safely make in this. You can also make all your chutneys in this, the ones which need roasting before you're able to pound them. सभी कुछ almost बन सकता है. Okay.
Second question is that sabzis, if we cook in kadhai, they turn black. Is it okay?
Yeah, I mean it is okay. There is no problem. It's just the iron content. But if you are very worried about the looks, तो सब्जी बनने के बाद में you can remove it in another serving bowl. But surely make the sabzi in the iron kadai.
Okay. Lot of people recommend to take iron supplements. So is it okay to not take them and just use iron for cooking?
See, this is what we do in our practice. When sometimes we see hemoglobin which is really low, 7, 8, we ask them to first start cooking in iron. And then what we see is that is able to push their hemoglobin all the way up to 9.8, 10.3. That's a nice safe range to be in. And obviously you have to eat healthy too, and you will learn more recipes over the next 3 months. But using iron is a very, very important intervention in ensuring that your hemoglobin levels stay high and they stay stable. आपने ये देखा होगा that even if you take pills, or even if you take injections, the minute you stop, the iron levels crash again. Why are they crashing? They're crashing because this intervention is not being used. So make sure that you're using iron in your kitchen. जो देख के भी जिसकी महानता से हम छुपे हुए रहते हैं उसी को सीक्रेट कहते हैं.
Okay, last question is about hemoglobin. So you were saying that after cooking food in iron vessels, hemoglobin will increase. So should we track our hemoglobin levels for the next 3 months?
Well, if you want to, you surely can, but if you don't want to, if you just track the metabolic health parameters, how fresh you wake up every single day, how well you sleep in the night, your exercise compliance, then that will also give you a good reflection of what your hemoglobin levels are. But before I go, I want to tell you a secret. A lot of us get this sweet tooth after eating lunch or dinner. कि जब तक लंच नहीं खाया तब तक कुछ मीठा खाने का मन नहीं करता है, बट जैसे ही आपने लंच खाया तो यू स्टार्ट फीलिंग लाइक ईटिंग समथिंग मीठा. Where that whole मीठा thing comes from? This whole sugar craving, which a lot of you say मेरे को पहले नहीं था. I only got it later in my 30s and my 40s. It's coming from low hemoglobin levels. You start cooking in the iron kadai, you no longer need to use willpower after lunch or dinner. Naturally आपका sugar craving or sweet tooth चला जाता है. That's the secret which is worth learning. That's your hemoglobin test. You don't always need blood work. Sometimes you just need common sense.
Sorry, last question. How to maintain iron vessels?
Well, I have become very good at running my kitchen over the last 8 months. When you're not using your iron kadai for a very long time, if you're going for a holiday, all that you do is that you can, apply a little bit of oil and keep it. Iron jo hai, you need to make sure that it is not coming in contact with either air or moisture and forming any kind of compounds which you don't want. तो वो करने के लिए, वो प्रिवेंट करने के लिए बस ऑयल एप्लीकेशन इज गुड इनफ. अगर आपको फिर भी बहुत डर लग रहा है तो उसे आप मलमल के क्लॉथ में या पुरानी साड़ी में रैप करके अंदर रख दीजिए, उसको बाहर एक्सपोज मत कीजिए. सिर्फ खाना बनाने के टाइम पे एक्सपोज कीजिए. सीक्रेट्स है आपकी तो छुपी हुई रहनी चाहिए. ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर वॉचिंग. बाय बाय. सी यू ऑन 12th 4 p.m. Fitness Project 2021.